The Vikings quarterback room is officially at a breaking point, and the tension in Minnesota is absolutely palpable. After a turbulent start to his career, the franchise's former top prospect is facing the most critical crossroads of his young life, with trade rumors swirling and a veteran star looming over his future as the starter. Is this the end of his time in purple, or is he ready to fight for his spot? Everything hinges on what is happening behind closed doors at minicamp right now. Smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Let's dive into this situation. The professional journey of J.J. McCarthy since being drafted 10th overall by the Vikings in April 2024 has been an intense 25-month roller coaster. Following a promising preseason debut, his rookie campaign was tragically cut short by a meniscus injury, forcing him to the sidelines for the entire year. By 2025, the narrative shifted into a whirlwind of volatility. McCarthy experienced a dramatic fourth-quarter comeback in Week 1, only to be hit with subsequent injuries. He mounted a triumphant return in Detroit, yet faced extreme struggles throughout the season before finding momentum during a late-year 4-game winning streak. Amidst these professional shifts, McCarthy also navigated personal milestones, including the birth of his first child. Now entering his third year in the league at only 23 years old, McCarthy finds himself at a pivotal crossroads. With just 10 NFL starts under his belt, his tenure as the primary starter is currently facing a significant pause. Veteran Kyler Murray has emerged as the favorite to claim the starting role ahead of the critical 2026 season, casting uncertainty over McCarthy's immediate future. After some difficult moments during his initial offseason press conference, his name has even surfaced in trade speculation. However, speaking to the media on Tuesday after the first day of mandatory minicamp, the young quarterback addressed his status head-on. He made it explicitly clear that he has no desire to leave Minnesota. Despite the adversity he has faced, from being labeled a potential franchise savior to battling perceptions of failure and seeing his predecessor win a Super Bowl, McCarthy remains committed to the team. He expressed a deep affection for the organization, the coaching staff, and his teammates, emphasizing his desire to thrive within the current system. Skol, when J.J. McCarthy stated that everything has played out exactly how he wanted. He was clearly referencing his path to the Vikings, rather than the turbulent reality of his recent seasons. Over the past 2 years, he has faced a level of adversity that few young quarterbacks ever encounter. He transitioned from a highly anticipated draft pick to a lightning rod for social media criticism in what felt like the blink of an eye. During his press availability on Tuesday, McCarthy appeared to move past the frustrations that clouded his previous comments at OTAs on May 27th. While his competition for the starting role, Kyler Murray, has been vocal about the difficulties of splitting reps while adjusting to a new offensive scheme, McCarthy maintained a different perspective. He noted that rep counts are largely outside of his control, choosing instead to focus his energy on making each individual rep count. This shift in mindset coincides with what he describes as feeling the best he has ever felt during his professional career. According to McCarthy, Kevin O'Connell's offensive scheme is finally beginning to feel instinctual as he enters his third year. This physical and mental readiness is critical, especially as he attempts to reclaim his position at the top of the depth chart. The contrast between his current outlook and his previous public responses marks a shift in his approach to handling pressure. By focusing on his own development rather than external circumstances or rumors, he is attempting to maintain stability in a high-stakes environment. Ultimately, he believes that this increased familiarity with the complex playbook will provide him with the necessary edge to reclaim his role during this crucial offseason period. This situation carries immense weight for the Vikings right now because the quarterback position dictates the entire offensive trajectory for the 2026 season. J.J. McCarthy is currently at a stage where every single practice rep serves as an evaluation for the coaching staff. With veteran Kyler Murray pushing for the starting spot, the internal battle is reaching a fever pitch. The importance of this competition lies in the team's need for stability under center. McCarthy's development, or lack thereof, directly influences whether the offense can reach its full potential. The fact that he is only 23 years old and still possesses significant upside makes this a complicated scenario for the front office. On one hand, the team has a veteran in Murray with proven experience. On the other, they have a former first-round pick in McCarthy who is just beginning to grasp the nuances of the system. The stakes are heightened by the limited sample size of 10 career starts, Any failure to secure the position effectively limits the team's ability to build a cohesive offensive rhythm. Furthermore, the reality of the trade speculation surrounding McCarthy adds an extra layer of pressure. If he cannot prove that he is the superior option, his future with the franchise becomes increasingly murky. The organization needs to determine if McCarthy is truly their long-term answer, or if the investment made in him during the 2024 draft has failed to yield the expected returns. Because of this, the minicamp sessions are not just casual workouts. They are high-stakes trials that will ultimately define the leadership hierarchy of the roster heading into the fall. The margin for error is razor-thin for the young signal caller as he fights to prove his worth. On the field during Tuesday's session, J.J. McCarthy provided a tangible demonstration of his progress, looking sharp and efficient throughout the workout. On a day where his main competitor, Kyler Murray, struggled with accuracy and threw 2 interceptions, McCarthy stood out as the more composed and effective quarterback. His performance included a notable completion to Miles Price for a significant gain over the middle during 7-on-7 drills. Shortly after, he showcased his arm talent by delivering a perfect deep ball along the right sideline to Ty Felton, which resulted in a long touchdown pass. He also found rookie Dylan Bell on a crossing route, showing rhythm and timing. In fact, McCarthy recorded only 1 incompletion during the entire practice session, and that occurred when he attempted a high-difficulty throw to T.J. Hawkinson into tight coverage. While these exercises are clearly not the same as full-speed 11-on-11 regular season football, they represent a significant step in the right direction. McCarthy also demonstrated maturity in his post-practice press conference by artfully sidestepping a direct question regarding whether he believes the starting job is a legitimate, open competition between him and Murray. Instead of dwelling on the politics of the roster, he chose to focus on the concept of internal growth. He explained that his daily focus remains on self-improvement, viewing his development as a way to contribute to the overall success of the group. He quoted the idea that a rising tide lifts all ships, suggesting that by pushing himself to be the best version of a quarterback and a person, he will help the entire team reach a better position by the time the season begins. J.J. McCarthy's commitment to the Vikings remains unwavering, despite the obvious challenges he faces to reclaim the starting job. As he navigates this critical juncture, his comments suggest that he is fully bought into the vision of the organization and the coaching staff. He emphasized that every repetition in practice, combined with the experience gained over the last 3 years, is helping him build the necessary confidence to execute the scheme effectively. His feeling that he is in the best shape of his career is a vital component of his push to re-establish himself as the leader of the offense. While the front office and the coaching staff evaluate his performance against that of Kyler Murray, McCarthy is choosing to keep his head down and focus on the task at hand. By limiting his concerns to things he can control, he is positioning himself to maximize his chances of success. The narrative surrounding his career has been a roller coaster, but his recent performance on the practice field suggests that he is not ready to back down from the challenge. Whether the organization decides to stick with his upside or favor the experience of Murray, McCarthy's current attitude reflects a player who understands the gravity of the 2026 season. He is fighting to prove that his early career struggles were merely a chapter in a much longer, more successful story in Minnesota. As the team moves forward through the remainder of minicamp and into the preseason, all eyes will be on how he continues to handle the pressure of this competition. His ability to remain focused while the stakes continue to rise will be the ultimate indicator of his long-term potential as a starter in the NFL.